Welcome to the On Record podcast. This is a podcast where we speak with industry experts and how they're using video and audio to achieve their organization's objectives. My name is Mike Anzalone, and my co-host today is Carmen Hawk.
Thanks, Mike. And we're so pleased to be joined by Ruben Torres from South Texas College. He's the simulation manager, many years of experience, and many years of experience in audiovisual technology in general. Ruben, will you share with us a little bit about how you have come into your role of simulation manager at South Texas College?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Ruben Torres. I've been working for South Texas College for about 22 years in audio and visual at first. And then in 2013, I moved to the healthcare area where I serve as a first simulation specialist, then coordinator, and now manager.
You have seen the progression, and there's a hand in hand with audio visual and simulation. So it was a natural progression, and you're passionate about the healthcare field and making sure that there are the right resources and the right hardware to support the learning outcomes that South Texas College has.
So Ruben, can you tell us a little bit about your experience working with video over the course of the time that you've been at the university?
Yeah, so at one point I was in charge of the nursing campus. Both in the college does have 6 campuses, but nursing and other health programs are only in 3. So I was in charge of 2 of them, which are the biggest one. Anyways, so at first they were buying mannequins, and they said, "Oh, we have a mannequin, and we need cameras so we can record our students. And because audio and video, we need cameras from you." And that's how I became the expert in simulation, because I knew how to manage cameras.
Excellent.
So that was my first step into the healthcare simulation, is specifically nursing and paramedics.
So tell us about when you are using your AV experience, what that means for simulation at South Texas College for the students, to be able to reflect and look back. How are you using that AV technology to reflect, go through debrief, etc.?
Yes. Well, at the college, South Texas College, STC, that's how we call it, STC. So at STC, our faculty are trained to follow the standards of simulation. And part of the standards of simulation is to record the students, or not so much record, but debrief the students, right? But part of our component in simulation is to record them and then go back. We always tell the students when they showed up to simulation, this is a safe place. This is the place where you are allowed, or you should make mistakes before going into the clinicals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you step into that place, there's no judgment. There's always wrong decisions, but we try to make it positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, the integration of cameras or audio and video is when the students stepping into the simulation and they are conducting the scenario. They get recorded, then they're done. Within 5-10 minutes, they go back to their debriefing rooms, and they go and see what their results are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we debrief them, we go back into the recording, and we point out the improvements they should make before going, of course, to the hospital.
Which is the great preemptive measure to make sure you mitigate that risk and keep it all in the simulation space. I've had the honor of being in your facility. It is state-of-the-art. It is world-class. Tell us, how do you source, or how do you look for specific pieces of technology, all these different components in a complex environment? How do you bring it together to make it work? How have you done that design component?
Yeah, well, I call it the Happy Meal box. I call it that because for me, in order to create the atmosphere of simulation into like a real place, you have to know AV, audio and video, networking, computers, healthcare or nursing or medical background or whatnot, and then you should be able to fix it, right? So you have to put all those components into this Happy Meal, and boom, now you have a simulation specialist, manager, operation, whatever you want to call it. So in my case, I did focus a lot on the quality of the audio and video based on the network. I do have a background in networking and audio and video, computers and all that. I was just lacking
What don't you do, Ruben? What don't you do?
medical side, which later I did took a bachelor's in healthcare management. So I was able to learn a lot about healthcare field. So anyways, I visited so many institutions and I knew exactly my needs. I knew exactly what the faculty wanted. I knew exactly what the students were going to be able to do. The first thing we said is we want our students to have freedom, to feel like they're in the actual hospital. So the way we design our simulation hospital is the control room, it's way outside, and we rely so much on technology, in this case on cameras and audio microphones. And the students, they just walk in and they don't see faculty, they don't see, and well, they see the staff, the support staff like us, but basically they are on their own. They go get their own supplies. We just have a storage with all supplies, just like a hospital. We get the Pyxis and they get their own medications. If they need towels and all that, we do have a place for that. Also for syringes and all that. So they're on they get this card, they access, we record if they access to the storage, to the Pyxis, to this and that. And I mean, they have to conduct their simulation by themselves. And faculty is just relying on the audio and video in the recording system.
Ruben, talking about, or as you reference faculty, have there been any barriers to adoption from the faculty's perspective in using this kind of technology?
Well, we do have some faculty that are really, really good with technology. And we also have faculty that are really, really good in nursing. Not so much in technology. So our job is to get them, of course, we need their expertise because I wouldn't be able to do the nursing side, right? Because I'm not a nurse. But my job is to have them integrate into their technology, or at least show them how to work the technology to the point that they feel comfortable so they can deliver the material to the students. So I think that's the most challenging situation, where the faculty needs to feel very safe working with the computers and all the simulation equipment.
From an adoption perspective, like how much training has gone into faculty to be able to really leverage this kind of technology?
Well, in my opinion, there's never enough training. That this is what I do at my college. They're always busy. The best way to get them is at the start of the semester. Every time we do like a refresher of how things are changing, like new equipment or new features or upgrades or whatnot. I do not give them trainings at the end of the semester, because then they go on a break, and by the time they come back, they don't remember. That's not their field of expertise, the technology. So every start of the semester, there's a day, half a day, mandatory. The faculty that will be doing simulation, they must go through training or refresher before starting the semester or the simulation classes.
Since you started using video, are you seeing an increase in the number of simulation scenarios that you're running?
So I feel like that question for me is different maybe from the concept, the most common concept of simulation, where they do have like a window and they can do simulation and just see through the window. For me, we rely 100% on video. Like I said, we are not next to our students. We are almost
Really
200.
focused on realism. That realism
Yes.
is, yes.
We are almost 100 feet away from the students.
Okay.
So going back to your question, I don't see the increase, because that's the way it is. There's the standard. what I can say is that since we started with our simulation programs, we had three different software for debriefing. So when we incorporated this new software, which is IVS,
The vault system.
the VALT system, I did see an increase or more satisfaction from the faculty for several things. But the main thing was because they can see the recordings from their offices, or if they have access directly, they just log in into the VALT system. It's not on the cloud. It's just on the school network. But remember, I said we do have three different campuses far away. One, the longest drive is like an hour drive from each other. So they can be conducting simulation in our Star campus, which is 50 miles away from the main hub. And they still can see the recording from their office when the simulation was done in a remote location.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So yes, that's pretty cool. That's what I can tell you. Yes, the increase of simulation regards that. Yes.
Okay. I'm kind of curious, like, when do students actually start getting engaged in simulation in their coursework?
So the way it works, and I can give you an example on nursing. We do have different programs that use simulation, but let me just go on the nursing, the associate degree of nursing. We have different tracks and whatnot. First, they go through their traditional skills, and then at the end of the semester for them, before they go and move on to the next level, they do 3 weeks of intensive simulation. Very basic, very intensive. And then they move on into level 2. In level 2, they do mental health and they do med surg. And then 3, OBPD and med surg. And then 4, med surg. And then we have a level 5, which is capstone. That's when it's the most robust simulation scenarios. And the expectation are like super high.
Those are your high stakes scenarios?
Those are the graduating students. So they do get almost, I'm going to say 30 hours of simulation before going to their capstone, which is at the hospital.
With your passion being simulation and having multiple different positions in different simulation groups, and also being featured in so many simulation articles and talking about your experience and background, you must be a kid in a candy store at IMSH. A lot to look at, a lot to see and engage with. What has been your favorite part of this 2026 IMSH show?
The food.
Yeah.
Well,
Second favorite.
I know, right? No, I feel like networking, talk to the vendors. If you have questions, this is the place for you to get those questions answered. When I started working for the nursing department in simulation, I noticed that a sales rep will show up and said, "Oh, I have this equipment and this," and then, "Oh yeah, we'll buy it. We need it." And then I see a lot of boxes stocked with brand new equipment on the closet and all that. So I started looking into those, and then when they will show up, I said, "Oh, we're not in Pampers anymore. We just grown up." So I know what I need. I know the questions that I have, and I can actually pick up the phone or look online or whatnot. But having a one-to-one talk to the sales guy or this person that you always talk over the phone, you don't know them, but you are very know each other because of troubleshooting or because of the sales situation, whatnot, and then you get to meet. I think that's a really, really high stake opportunity to meet the actual person that is helping you to provide that support for the students.
If you were to want people to meet you and ask you questions about simulation, how could someone reach out to you, Ruben, for more information to learn about your process and how you've specified your state-of-the-art and world-class simulation space?
Well, the college that I work for, again, is South Texas College. And my email, it's rtorres@southtexascollege.edu. Everything together. So it's rtorres.southtexascollege.edu. You can send me an email, then we can get in contact with each other and
Ruben, this has been a fantastic conversation. Before we say goodbye, any last thoughts you'd like to share with our audience?
Yes, I feel like everyone is very engaged in the simulation. We work for the students, and that's what gets me every day out of the bed and go to work, because at one point, and I been through that situation, but at one point, we're gonna end up in the hospital and they're gonna take care of us. So by me providing the best service to our students,
We should thank you. We should really thank you.
gets me really, really satisfied that when I need to go to the hospital, hopefully not soon, but I will be taken care of really, really well with no medical errors.
Well, that's a great way to wrap up our conversation. Thank you very much, Ruben, for
Thank you
joining our
inviting me
podcast.
here.
Thank you.
And if you have a young one at home, go to www.pampers.com. On record.
We're not on Pampers anymore.
On Record is a podcast presented by Intelligent Video Solutions, hosted by Mike Anzalone and Andy Simmons, and produced by Kyle Shellstad. Find us online at ipivs.com/onrecord and on social media at Intelligent Video Solutions.